hello and welcome to Todd's Tips. That's Todd, I'm Hudson. And in these videos, Dad, who's been in voiceover for 13 years, 14 it'll be in August, correct?
Yeah.
He gives us some tips, some what to do, what not to do in his opinion, his experience in voiceover. Those are things that he's given me and is teaching me, and I'm employing into my voiceover business as I am starting to grow my voiceover business. So lend an ear and see if you can take anything from this. If you can't, then that's fine. See what you can apply to your business. So I'll give it over to Dad and he'll take care of it.
These videos are called Todd's Tips, but we've had sub-videos, which are Todd's Do's and Don'ts, and we've been doing this for months, and we're going to continue to do it for a while. I have about 100 of them planned, so that's a couple of years worth. And like you said a while back, do you think you'll ever run out of these? And I don't think so, because being in it 13 years, I think there's just a lot of do's and don'ts I've learned, and I keep learning.
One of them will be, I don't run out of do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Or,
well, I
do have
always
unlimited.
Unlimited. Not an infinite, but certainly a lot. And they keep growing because I'm learning. One of the things we always do is we always put these caveats on the screen so that you can see that I am not telling you that you must do this, and if you don't do it, you're wrong, you're going to fail. I see that so much.
You're hurting the industry.
Yeah, I see this so much with voiceover coaches and mentors, that if you don't do it their way, then there's no way you're going to make it. And then, of course, as we've talked about many times, then they say, oh, but just as you've now been beaten down, now you can buy my 7 steps to a
because
successful.
That's the only right way to do it.
Yeah. So the reason I'm telling you this is I think there's some things that I can teach you. I think there's some things that you need to think about, and our all of these things that were on the board. In other words, they're bigger than that. They're more foundational than that. That said, there are some things that you just have to keep in mind that might be specific to me. So,
if I might add, Dad doesn't, I don't. This is the only form of coaching we do. This isn't technically coaching. It's just kind of giving your experience. We don't get paid to do this. You don't get paid on the side to help people out with their businesses and stuff like that, or coaching or anything like that. So that's just something to let you know that we don't have a dog in the fight, other than the fact that we do voiceover ourselves and we pay attention to other industry people. So
yeah, good point. And the whole reason we're doing these is because Hudson came to me 3 years ago and said, Dad, I'm starting my voiceover business. You've been in it, 11 years or whatever. You've been successful. This is how much money you've made. You tell people all the time the money that you make to the cent. And so why don't we chronicle my journey? And you can help me out with things right in front of people. And so whether you're a newbie or somewhere in between a newbie and 13 years, there's things that we can learn together. So that's why we have these. And so we're into the do's and don'ts. Now, here's a do. This might come as a surprise to you, but I do have empathy for other voiceover talent. Sometimes I wonder, you don't know me at all. A lot of you don't know me. And so it's easy to get a certain persona because you don't live with me. Hudson and I go watch him play baseball. We play catch. We work together. We talk all the time throughout the day. We go on walks. We vacation together, all sorts of things. So he knows me and he knows all sides of me where you don't. And so sometimes I get tough with especially VO coaches, and I might come across as kind of a gruff old man. Maybe I am, I don't know. I mean, maybe you'd get to know me and say, no, you're exactly like you are. That'd be scary. But anyway, I do have empathy for other voiceover talent. Again, it might not seem like it. It might be just, wow, Todd just charges ahead and he never has any problems and he just keeps making all this money and he just keeps saying, you got to do this and you got to do that. So I'm just telling you that. Now I'm going to explain what I mean. I do understand why voiceover talent go to VO conferences. I get that. I don't go. I've never gone. I can't see myself going. And it's not because I'm an introvert or because I wouldn't like to travel or anything. I just personally don't see the value for me. But I do see it because you do sit in a booth all day long and talk to yourself. And you've set it off to the side and you've set it here. You have me. I have you. We have our own community, if you will. There's a lot of people like yourself that maybe don't have that. Mm-hmm. So I feel for you. Mm-hmm. And plus, I have kind of a voiceover family. We run, you run voiceover. My wife works for me. Other people have worked for me. Drew's done editing. John's worked for me. Everybody's basically worked for me in the family. And so it's kind of, we are our own support group, if you will. And you might not have that. And so I have empathy for that.
We even have a VO dog.
Yeah,
Roy.
Exactly. Roy, the VO dog. I do understand why voiceover talent can get kind of dark and discouraged. I do get that. I won't go into details. I just do get that because I can have those thoughts myself. And I hear people that have those thoughts consistently and why they have those thoughts. I understand why voiceover talent like to coach. I do get that. I think that somewhat all of those three things that I just mentioned, I think they all have a little bit something to do with one another. I think because it's a lonely business. And when you're all alone, you can be alone with a crazy person. And so to have a coach to give you some perspective, to go to conferences when you get dark and you don't want to get dark and discouraged. And so you go to conferences and you go to meetups and things like that. So I get that. What else do I understand? I understand why voiceover talent stop marketing, especially early on. Because if there's not success right away, or it's hard to find agents if that's the direction you go, or
you get some success on platforms right away. It's like that's easier. That's
right. And now I'm trying to do direct marketing,
or you're at the mercy of those platforms. That's
true.
what I was getting to. Is you're at the mercy of that. Yeah. When they give you some quick wins and stuff, it's great. It's fun. Mm-hmm. I'm on platforms. I'm not bashing them. Mm-hmm. But to just say, well, I'm just going to go on that. You're chained to that platform, whether they do well or not, and whether you get jobs or not. So,
yeah. So I mean, I get it. I get it when people get discouraged. Whether it's I've got to be on 3 platforms to try to make some money, and I'm having a hard time just getting my demo done, or I've got to work part time. All these different things. I can understand why people stop marketing. I can understand why VO talent have, crises of confidence. All of us have that. I can have a $14,000 week like I had last week, the best ever. And then all of a sudden it starts out slow and I go, what's wrong with me? Is this the end of my run? We've talked about that before. It happens to all of us. And I understand why VO talent just give up and quit. We've had people that talk to us, maybe we've done marketing for them or they've been in the business for a while, and they just find that it wasn't for them. Being a solopreneur, it wasn't for them. These videos are meant to challenge you and encourage you. And I'm sure sometimes I can come across and maybe seem like I don't understand the kind of high emotional ups and downs you can have when you, and inevitably, accompany a solopreneur, being a small business owner where you're, president and chief bottle washer. You run the gambit of everything in the business, and that can be tiring. So keep in mind, you're normal if you have these feelings. Those thoughts that pop into your head and stay there, those are normal. Everyone faces these mental, emotional challenges. Everyone does. If they say they don't, then they're either the vast anomaly or they're not telling you the truth. It's not that you're unique or something's wrong with you. The huge difference between those who become successful despite having all of these thoughts and feelings and those who fall prey to them is this: 3 things. First, do you face them head on? In other words, do you say, okay, I'm having all of these things, but I'm going to face them head on. I'm going to look at them. I'm going to figure out how to deal with them. Second, developing a winning mindset. I'm working on a book It's in my mind right now and writing some things down about the fact that mindset is the most important thing in business and voiceover. And so we're going to work on developing that. And third, develop actionable steps to flesh out that winning mindset. Face it head on, then have a winning mindset, figure out what that is, and then get some actionable steps to get those wins. Those are the things that I think about when those things flood in. Again, I've said it many times, have a simple business plan that works, and then work that business plan. Anyone, I've said this too, anyone can have a successful voiceover business. Anyone can, but not everyone will because of these types of things. And the biggest thing a lot of times I think, Hudson, is just knowing that you're not alone, that these things are normal. And when you have those feelings, you have those thoughts, you have those, the crisis of confidence that everybody has, what you do at that point is critical. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that I do empathize. It's not like I'm, some sort of a robot. I do empathize with you, and I guess I just wanted you to know that in one of these do's and don'ts.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so you have to keep, if you start thinking that I'm a grumpy old man, just come back to this one, this number, whatever
we got
it
one
is.
for you guys. All right, thanks for the Todd's Tips. If you want more videos like this, we do have a Todd's Tips folder playlist with all of our past Todd's Tips. Next up, we have our numbers. John will be here from VO Marketing Pro, see how their week went, good English, how my week went, and how your week went. So check that out next if you're interested. We'll see you then.